Good morning, it's Elizabeth, Cass of Low Carb, and on this episode, we're going to talk sugar-free products for keto and intermittent fasting coming up next. Hi guys, it's Elizabeth, Cass of Low Carb, and if you're new here, hey, make sure you click like, subscribe, and share. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about sugar-free products for keto and intermittent fasting. If you are having a weight loss stall, I'm going to encourage you, check Yo sugar-free products. Usually when I do coaching with people, I ask to see their food plan, and usually on it is a lot of sugar-free products. And if they're having a weight loss stall, I challenge them to go a week without having any sugar-free products. And so at the beginning, if you look on Cass of Low Carb on YouTube, my big YouTube channel, big relatively speaking, compared to like Dr. Berry, who has like hundreds of thousands of people. But on my YouTube channel, you can see some of my early hauls from, I don't know, like 8 months ago, a year ago, not a year ago. It was from like earlier this fall. So what was that? 6 months ago, 8 months ago? Good morning, guys. You can see from my hauls that I would buy a lot of sugar-free products. You can see it. I bought the sugar-free syrups, the sugar-free mints, a bunch of sugar-free things. And it worked at the beginning and then it stopped working. And so I want to encourage you guys, that if you are having a keto, if you're on keto and you're having sugar-free products, I would challenge you to have it once a week. And that's what I've switched over to, is I will have sugar-free products once a week. Oh, and some of my other hauls you'll see at Starbucks, I'll get a sugar-free, 1 pump of sugar-free something, like in my pink drink or in my coffee. I don't do that anymore. I try to either have my coffee black or with heavy whipping cream. And trust me, y'all have told me, and I agree with you, like, it tastes gross just having black coffee. It's an acquired taste. But I'd rather have the health benefits of not having the sugar-free products, because it's a creepy carb, and it does, for me, stall weight loss and for a lot of other people. And so I encourage you, if you're having weight loss stalls, knock that sugar-free stuff out. And that even includes keto-approved sweeteners, right? Like Stevia or Swerve or monk fruit. Like, those things are still sugar-free products, right? It's a sweetener, and sweeteners for us, for people who are on keto, for this keto chick, I am sensitive to sweeteners. So I would encourage you to check that. Now, if you're on intermittent fasting, that's a whole nother ballgame. I follow Dr. Fung's fasting rules. There's so many different rules out there, but I like to go back to the scientific research and nature of it, and I still have a ways to go. I fully admit that I don't know everything, but I do know a little something from my success of doing intermittent fasting. That a fast is broken when you incorporate sweetener into your fast. So if you have a Diet Coke, if you have Stevia and say Dr. Berry's Ketorade, he says for Dr. Berry's Ketorade, you don't have Stevia in it, because you can have his Ketorade, just take out the Stevia part, that will break your fast, right? And so we want to have fast longer because of the autophagy benefits. The 2016 Nobel Prize winner was all about autophagy, and we don't even know yet, I feel like, the mass benefits of autophagy. So sweeteners definitely break fast, but on keto, for this person, it stalls my weight. It gives me a weight stall, and more importantly, is that it triggers carb cravings for me. And I don't know, put down below, do you have the same thing? If you are agreeing with what I'm saying, or if you have a different experience with sugar-free products. But put down below, sugar-free product problem, or that you do well, because I want to see, am I the only one that is like sugar-free immune? Like, that was a game changer for me, for my weight loss. And when I started taking over of I needed it personally, I needed to ride out of having a crutch of having sugar-free products. But once I stopped having the sugar-free products, but once a week, like, I'll make my keto chocolate chip cookies, or I'll make my keto peanut butter cookies on a given week. Like, this week has been off. I've openly admitted this week has been off. But usually speaking, I like to have one treat once, or I'll make my keto cupcakes. I have a great keto cupcake recipe that's coming out, or keto muffins. I have another good recipe for that. So, but whenever I trace it back, because usually when I have carb cravings, I try to trace it back and look back to learn, okay, where did that come from? How did that happen? What can I do better to learn? And so it does make a stall. I totally agree with you. It makes a stall. And then that's why I've also too am leaning more and more towards the carnivore lifestyle, which is basically meat and butter and fats, less vegetables, but getting away from these processed things. Like, I love my keto bagels. I will have them once a week. And I don't know, you can never say, I enjoy having my keto bagels that I make and having my avocado toast with that to get my high fats in. But the more I'm moving towards just having like plants, fats, plants, fats, and meats, and eventually minimizing the plants too, just because of the carb factor in it. So that's just me, but in terms of the sugar-free products, I think it's so, so important. Good morning to everybody who's just joining us. So if you're just joining us, make sure you click like, make sure you click share, make sure you click subscribe. But we're talking about the sugar-free products and eliminating those, except for maybe once a week if you're on keto. That is a huge weight loss stall for a lot of people. Huge. If you are having weight loss stalls, I would encourage you to track and look at in a given week how many times you have a sugar-free product. And that includes stevia, that includes monk fruit, that includes swerve, that includes all of the keto approved sweeteners, that it still can be triggery. It can still be a trigger for you. And so, definitely, if we're in maintenance mode, that's a different story. That's a different ballgame for us. And usually that's who I speak to, is people who are losing weight with me, because I have another 50 pounds to go. And most folks who are following me are on the weight loss keto part of it, of having less sugar-free products. And I would encourage you, less sugar-free products, more fats. Where are you? And that's the other part that I wanted to talk about, was where are you with your fats? Like, are you having enough fats? I would guarantee you, if you're reaching for, say, a stevia to put in your coffee, put some butter in there, put some coconut oil if you want a different taste and a different, taste to it. But yes, the processing, Michelle just put that, the processing of sugar-free products, it's not good for our bodies, for me. And it always stalls, and always, and I don't like to use superlatives like always, but always stalls me if I have too many. That's why I go to about once a week, because then it's a treat, right? Treats aren't an everyday thing. They're like an occasional thing. And once a week, if my family goes out for ice cream or whatever, I can feel satiated or comfortable having, my keto sugar-free muffin or my keto sugar-free cupcakes. I made the best sugar-free keto cupcakes. I've got to get you guys the recipe. It was so good with frosting on it, but the frosting, it was supposed to be like a buttercream, but it was like butter. It was so good. It was so good. So I'm going to share that with you guys too. So that was what I wanted to talk about, was check your sugar-free product content. And of course, if you're on fasting, that breaks your fast per Dr. Fung. Everybody has there's a lot of different philosophies going on. I saw in some group, they said if you have more than 50 calories, that breaks your fast, which to me is shenanigans, because it's not about calories. But yes, cutting out the sugar-free products isn't it a game changer? So if you are having sugar-free products, I would like to challenge you to knock it off for 1 week and see how it goes. I guarantee you, when I challenge other people to do this, they come back and later on and they're like, I lost 5 pounds in 1 week. Or people usually have huge results when they cut out sugar-free products. So that's my big thing today for you, is look at your sugar-free products. And if you're having carb cravings, can you trace it back to some sort of sugar-free products in your system? Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's other things that have made creepy carbs, but carbs beget carbs. And usually when there's a carb craving, it stems from something else, a creepy carb, knowingly or unknowingly, that got into our system. So no sugar-free products for a week is a great group challenge. Ooh, I like that, Beth. Let's do that, sister. Are you in? If you want to do the sugar-free challenge for a week, put below sugar-free challenge. I'm in. # sugar-free challenge. Beth, you get the gold star today, sister. You get the gold star today. I love that challenge because it will encourage to help just have it once a week. And maybe you can't do it for the whole week. Maybe you're like, I resolve to do it for 4 days or 5 days. Put below how long you want to go without sugar-free products. The more that we ingest sugar-free products, it feeds the beast. You know what I mean? Like, sugar is the beast. And if we feed this beast, it's going to keep on wanting to be fed. And so why fight that battle, right? Like, why fight that battle? Add more fats instead is my challenge to you. So you take away the sugar-free products and instead you replace it with, because we've got to do a replacement with higher fats, coconut oil, butter. I like coconut oil because to me it has a Caribbean, I don't know, in my head it has a pina colada taste to it, although it really doesn't. But you have to replace, you don't have to, but my suggestion for behavior modification and behavior changes from my personal experience is having something else to make as an alternative that's healthy. And that for me is coconut oil, is kind of what I've started to, like, I put in my coffee instead if I wanted sweetener, because breaking off the sugar-free products for me, it was a stair step. It took a while. So you could do the cold turkey, like cut it out for a week, but really you might have to stair step it to see how far it goes. But I will guarantee you, I bet you will have a weight loss. Most, like 95% of people who do this have a big weight loss when they're like, holy F, I dropped some lbs as a result of this. So I would encourage you to see if you have that too. Sweet stacks are nice. And I love having macadamia nuts. I will have those. I mean, they're expensive. And so my rule has been that I want to eat every other nut that we have in our house before I buy more macadamia nuts, but 1/4 a cup in little bags, so I don't overeat on them, is important. Crutch if you're just starting. And so for people who are just starting, at least I was when I first started, I looked up every single possible recipe to have. But so like I'll make my keto chocolate chip cookies or my keto peanut butter cookies, or I'll make those things that I want to feel normal with, but that is a once a week treat and not a daily occurrence. And at the beginning, I needed to have it be a daily occurrence because I was still dropping weight. But then there came a point of where I stopped detoxing, and then that became a hindrance, and I started to crave it more and more and more and more because I was feeding the beast. So this includes for me also, and thank you, Beth, you get the gold star for the day, mints. Because I'll tell y'all what, and you can see on my past YouTube videos, I am a sugar-free bag when it came to mints. Sorry if children are watching. Because I loved having sugar-free mints. I would pop them like 5 a day, which is crazy. That's a lot of, there's someone walking by. I'm like, why is someone walking right by me? I would have so many sugar-free mints. So are they creeping in your system that way? Like that is a huge amount. Sugar-free, hashtag sugar-free challenge, want you in. Would love to have you in, because I think we are onto something here, because really, and then I want to see how much weight we all lose collectively. Like as a group, can we lose like 500 pounds? You know what I mean? If you use the moi, I might be saying that wrong, M-I-O, mio or moi, those drops, the water drops, same thing. That is a hidden sugar. That is a hidden sugar, my friends. And so that may be a weight loss stall for you. Like, let's look under everything with a microscope lens of where, and this is what I've been doing, of where my creepy carb craving came from, because it feeds the beast and it makes us want more. So I would encourage you to knock it off. And same thing with Diet Cokes. I love me a diet soda. It's like when I used to smoke back in the day. I used to smoke a lot. I started smoking when I was, 16, and I quit smoking right before I had my son, obviously before I got pregnant. I quit smoking, which was a long time. What was that? 2 decades worth, something like that. I love to smoke. And I would always say I love to smoke until it is going to kill me, though, because I loved it so much. And then same thing with Diet Coke. I'm like, dude, I loved it. I used to drink 2 or 3 huge, big, super gulps from 7-Eleven. And I'm like, no wonder I had back in the day, this weight loss problem. Well, still not, but it was when I was doing Weight Watchers, and I could not lose weight, but I was having these huge Diet Cokes, looking at that too. So that's why I'm giving you all these examples. And that's kind of my funny story of I went because I was having, my anxiety was so high. No wonder my anxiety was so high. I was having 2 huge or 3 huge, super big gulps, those gallon size, milk jugs full of diet soda. And I digress. Make myself laugh sometimes because I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? But looking at the diet soda intake, if you're having diet sodas of that stuff's not good. I love it. But it's poison. It's like the smoking thing. It's going to kill me, but I love it. But why? Why not try something else, like having a Pellegrino with something else in it, or having, even people aren't going to like me saying this, but I'm just going to put it out there. Even Pellegrinos or Perriers that have the sweetener in them, like the watermelon Perriers, which I love. I've had them before, and at parties I like to have them because I feel again, to feel normal, and sometimes having a good substitute, it's better than having, say, an alcoholic beverage or whatever. But even that on a daily basis, what's in that sweetener? Why is it being sweetened? Why can't we use something that's natural? You know what I'm saying? And so people aren't going to like me saying that, but it's true. And so usually now I've switched solely. We still have some green apple. My son likes to have his green apple Perriers, and my 2-year-old now has champagne taste on a 2-year-old budget. But we now have plain Perrier. That's what I'm switching solely over to, because again, trying to get as natural and as clean as possible is my goal. I love you guys. I'm wishing you guys a really, really powerful day, and let's rock this out. Hashtag sugar-free challenge. Bye, y'all.